back with Bobby and JJ Radio. If you're just joining us, we had a lot of information this whole entire interviews with Helen Trowsdale of AA Care Services and Gabrielle Gelo of Long-Term Care Insurance, and then Nathan Cron was talking about a lot of opportunities as far as investment. Next up is Susan Blumhorst with the Senior Path Specialist. She has a unique investment opportunity that I actually think everyone needs to really focus and pay attention on. I think this is a real good moneymaker, and it seems it's going to be a big part of our economy here pretty soon. So everyone really needs to kind of not only focus on what she's talking about, but spread the news and the word of this great opportunity for potential investors in the real estate market. She's originally from Illinois. She's married with 2 kids, and she started this awesome business in 2007. First of all, I want to say thank you, Susan, for hanging out.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So what is a care home? What exactly are you establishing here all over?
Right. We're talking about residential care homes for elderly, for care. You basically have a private home where you're able to bring in folks that need attention and care for the elderly, and you provide that in a much better, more individualized, compassionate way than in a facility.
Sure.
So if I have a home
Yes.
that I'm living in, or that I have an extra home that's
Either
vacant?
way. It depends on the home. If there's space where you can live, or you can live elsewhere and have the care home separate.
Gotcha.
And so how's this different than like a traditional nursing home?
Well, for one thing, the caregiver to resident ratio is much, much better. If you have 3 residents or less, you don't need a license. So you have 1 or 2 caregivers to 3 or 4 residents at the worst case scenario.
Okay.
Where in a nursing home, on a good day, during the day, you might have 1 to 15. Assisted living at night, you might have 1 to 30 to 65. So now you have 1 or 2 people caring for 3 or 4 people. In a licensed care home, you might have 1 or 2 people to 10 or 15. But
But the ratios are
right.
just...
The ratio is phenomenally
So
better.
in a typical home, say I have a 3-bedroom,
Yes.
2-bath home that I have, and you guys wanted to put your care people in there.
Yes.
How many people would you put in this house?
If you do not want to get your license, you can do 3 residents and get, if it's a nice home, you can get between $35,000 to $6,000 per person.
And
to
the home,
have care.
the home, the people that take care of the elderly people, will they be living in the house too?
Yes. They can either live there or they can come in for shifts. It depends on what model you choose, but there is a caregiver there 24/7.
Do they fight over the master bedroom?
Yes, they do actually.
And
And
you-
couples can stay together in master bedrooms, and they have a private bath. It's like a little mini apartment.
I see.
So they don't have to split up like they do in a facility.
Gotcha.
So walk me through it. Let's say I wanted to open up this little... Because these are like little businesses, right?
Right. Yeah, the business management of it is not actually in the home. They're sort of like housemates that share the cost of the care of the home and the caregiver, but the management is the business away. But individuals own them, yes.
So how can I own my own
Right.
care home?
Well, first of all, you have to know what you're doing about elder care, and that's where we come in as a consulting firm. A lot of times we can help you do that. But basically, you just decide you want to do it. You get the right floor plan. You fix the house in the way that's going to be accommodating.
And so those are like
and
the
get
wider
started.
doorways.
Yes, sir.
No carpet for wheelchairs.
Well, actually, you can do carpet. It's a little more
Like a low ply?
forgiving for falls if you slip or something.
Sure.
Right. So all those things are taken into consideration.
But you
Removing
guys are the
bathtubs.
experts. You guys are the
Yes.
consultants of all
Right.
this.
We've
We don't
been
have to
doing
know
this
all
a
this.
good while, and
Sure.
my
So you-
kids each have their own care home. I have a care home. We all take care of people together.
So you would come into my house, you would
Yes.
tell me this is what you have to do.
That's right.
I fix the house to the way you need it to be.
Right.
And
What
then
I
you-
recommend.
Yeah, what you recommend. And then
Yes.
you supply us with people.
Residents. That's correct.
So what licensing and paperwork would I need to get all this
Right.
started?
For a 3 and under, you don't need what they call, if you only have 3 residents or less, you need no licensing. You're still under the jurisdiction of the state of Texas with the Department of Aging and Disability Services. Always people can call Adult Protective Services. So you still have to know what you're doing and do a good job. But that's really, you don't need any. Now, if you want to have more than that, you need to get a license from the state of Texas. Your home has to have a fire sprinkler system, and that's usually the deal breaker for a lot of folks because that can be kind of pricey. But it's very doable, and it brings in a steady long-term income.
So is that 3 in one house, or
Yes.
what if I have multiple houses with 3 in this one and 3
Right.
in that
Each home has to be owned by a separate owner if you're 3 and under. If you have a license, it's a lot more flexible that way.
And so, where should I be buying? Demographically, where should it be?
Demographic, don't buy in Leon Springs because there's already plenty of care homes out there.
Okay.
Up and down 35, east side of San Antonio, 09 zip code, 16 zip code, 32 zip code. Stone Oak, yeah, they're just really needing more homes.
And how can I get residents into all these homes?
Well, we're a placement company, so we place in all care homes. So we're usually going to find them for you. But
how long do they stay usually?
On average, it's 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
you've got some that are on hospice that's shorter, and
sure,
some it's actually a lot longer. Some people have had folks for 10 years.
Who's paying?
Private pay.
Yeah. So each resident technically in your home is, like she said, $3,500 to $6,000. So I mean, let's just do the low end. That's over $10,000 of money coming into your little home. Of course, you have an in-house person that's there. You have the consulting company, which she runs. But for the most part, it ends up being profitable.
Right. And for the family, not only for the owner is it meaningful, but for the family, it's cost-effective because they're paying $5,000 to $6,000 in some of the facilities per person.
So it's above and beyond what they're getting usually.
That's right. It's a win-win for everybody. It's the way elder care should be done in a home setting.
No, we definitely are interested. So there's one home each right here. But how can people get involved? How can they get a hold of you to really talk and sit down and get a consultation?
Right. One of two ways. You can call us at 210-745-5804 and make an appointment, or you can email us at senior, SENIOR, PATH, PATH, @gmail.com.
So again, that's 210-745-5804. Again, that's 745-5804. Talk to Susan. Create your small business here because it's very lucrative, it seems, and it's in much need. I want to thank everyone for being on the show. It was a great show, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.